Hey guys, welcome back to the Uncle Yoshi channel. I went to the Band-Maid show on October 20th at Namba in Osaka. I'm right now in Yokohama at my mom's apartment. I'm like literally like 10 minutes away from the Yokohama arena. So when I went to take the bullet train um, from Shin Osaka, I saw the Yokohama arena right by there. It's like walking distance from the train station, but it took about a couple hours to get there. Not used to, you know, taking a really fast train, so I did get a little tired afterwards from going into the mountains, and you go into this tunnel and your ear pops, and that happened multiple times. So when I got to Osaka, I was really tired, but I got there early enough, around 3, so I got a little bit of rest before I went to the show. And so I don't have the the equipment and the editing tools that I normally have that I would be able to do from home in the United States. So I'm gonna try and just kind of do off the cuff, and I do have some notes down below I'm gonna be reading. If I'm looking down below, I'm basically looking at the notes that I took after the show. So I want to first begin with a few shout outs to some of the guys that I met at Anaheim. One, Michael Choi. He sent me you sent me a message through line. Thank you very much. And Edward Hunt. You got a Facebook message, right? You sent me a Facebook message, so thank you very much for reaching out. And so let's see. This is my first BandMaid Okyuji in Japan, so a very fresh new experience for me. Um, uh, Definitely, there's a lot of nuances and differences watching a show here in Japan. So, what I first want to say is that Osaka is Saiki's territory. I think she grew up there, even though she was born in Yamanashi. She grew up in Osaka and became a Hanshin Tigers fan. So she was in a very good mood because they were winning during the during the Okyuji. They were winning, I think, 2-0, and then it became 2-2, and a lot of the fans were reporting in on the score. So she was really into, talking to the fans, and very lively, animated, more so than her regular, MC talk that we used to have back in the States. So, I'll get more into that a little bit later. First thing I noticed was that the Japanese fans were very civil, no rowdiness. I don't think I went through any kind of metal detectors, unless they had something advanced that I didn't know of, but I did go through something, I think. For those of you guys who went to the Namba show, let me know if you know there was a security thing or not, but it's very civil here. So another part of that civilness of the fans, during the show, even in between the songs, there was like dead silence, quiet. You could almost hear a pin drop. Everybody was quiet when the song was over, because I think BandMaid, the members were trying to get tuning their guitars or whatever for the next song. Sometimes that happens, so that was really interesting. I don't think we ever experienced dead silence at an American show. So the other thing that I noticed was that the light effects, the lasers and all those things that were here at Namba, or and probably most venues here, maybe not so much the small ones, but definitely here. Namba is like 1,500 capacity. It's a pretty decent sized place. It's not a small venue. It's a medium sized venue. And I noticed I sat in like the back area next to the mixer board. So there was a guy there, I forget his name, maybe June or something. He might be the manager, I don't know. But the light show and the stage effects were just amazing, right? Better than the US ones that we've seen throughout May and in August. So the difference was that a lot of times when BandMaid was playing, they would shine the white light onto the fans, and I see all the hands and the fists up in the air, and there was a lot of what you call crowd unity or unison, right? And I noticed the Japanese fans know the songs really, really well. I don't know if I want to say they know it better than us, but like they knew the songs really well to the point where they knew exactly when to put their fists up in the air and time it right, and then clapping time when there's a beat that goes along together with that. So, and of course, the Japanese fans know the lyrics and they can sing along with Saiki, right, and Miku. So that's something I noticed right off the bat. Now, the set list, basically the first 5 songs were the same as pretty much the ones that we've seen in the past, starting off with Domination, Glory, Alone, Play, and Unleash, right? So, out of the 5 songs, they all played them so well. But the thing that I noticed that gave me chills on my arms was during Play, like when they start the beginning of the intro for Play, bam, bam, right? Saiki was so into, just she was such in a good mood, right? She said something Osaka, but like I think she said something like, I'm not sure, but it's like was like usually she would say kakate koyo, right? Something like that. But she said it kind of like, if it was kakate koyo, it was like kakate koyo Osaka, right? Like she was really into it. And that gave me chills, right? And you can actually feel her rock spirit, or even close to like metal spirit, when she said that. I wish I could have captured that on video. Unfortunately, you cannot take pictures or record or anything like that during these shows. So yeah, that part was just really awesome, right? Her cool factor went off the charts right at that point. I'm like, wow, that was amazing. That was awesome, right? And then it started out with Don't You Tell Me. And let's see if I have the rest of the, oh yeah, they played some, they played Rinne, which we saw at the Anaheim show, and I was like shocked that they did it again. I got to see it again, and Miku did the helicopter headbang, and I wish I could have like captured that too, and she did it twice. So that was awesome. I mean, I talked to Peter before the show, Peter Lim on Maid News Network, and I was like, I'm sure he's going crazy right now. They also played, I think it was called Start Over. No, Shake That, not Start Over. They played Shake That, which is a very old song, more like an 80s type of flavor, the style, right? And I heard, I looked at the set list afterwards, and they said it was since 2018 they did not play that song. So I was privileged to see and hear that, which was awesome, right? And there were 3 new songs, of which Shining Star is Miku's song, and I think, I wasn't sure, there was another one called Go Easy, which I think you guys heard. One of them had like this funky rhythm to it. Both are good songs, and I can't recall how it went right now because I only got to hear it right then and there. And what I remember, the Shining Star song was short. It was probably 3 minutes or under. Go Easy was around 3+ minutes, but from what I remember, it was good. It wasn't like super heavy like Shambles or anything like that, but it was still very good. And there was a new song that they played that nobody knew, right? Nobody knew this song, and we found out later after the show it was called Maggie, and it's spelled Magie on Setlist FM at this point. Maybe it's spelled a little different, but we'll find out down the line, right? And so Omag Time was interesting in that since it was Miku's birthday the following day, right? Not on the day of the Okyuji. Kanami came out with cake and they were doing their silly antics with them, together. And when Omag Time started, actually Miku was supposed to do it, right? But Kanami, Saiki, Akane, and Misa all took over and did some of that, moi moi kyun kyun stuff on behalf of Miku in the beginning. And the way they did it, they were making different kinds of sounds and noises of moi moi. One of them, I think Misa did like a really low voice, moi moi, and everybody's cracking up. I was laughing a lot during the show too. So yeah, and Psyche spoke a lot, during these MC times about Hanshin Tiger. She's like, oh, Ima, score, what's the score? Like she was asking what's the score, and people like 2-0 in the beginning, 2-2, and she's like, oh, it's tied. And then eventually they took the lead 4-2, and they were very happy. She got even happier, right? So another thing that she said that was really cool was she told the Japanese fans, Lollapalooza itte meaning we all went to Lollapalooza, played there. So all the Japanese fans were ecstatic. They were just clapping, and they felt this proud moment that a Japanese rock band could go to America and play in Lollapalooza, right? So that was really cool. There's another thing I learned about the Japanese Okyujis is that towards Misa's side, I believe there's what's called a princesses audience section. So I think young girls and young women all have like their own private section there. And so there's a bunch of little girls there, and during the Omashina time when she's like asking people to do a Mui Mui Kyun Kyun, she asked just the girls and only the girls in the building to do Mui Mui. And when I heard it, it was like this the cutest little Mui Mui, because there's a lot of, I think there were a lot of little girls there, like maybe like 10 and under, who knows. I didn't get to see where they, actual people there, but I heard it coming from the left corner. And I heard from my friend who came with me, he's like, this is a common thing that they do in Japanese live shows, I think. I don't know if it's just BandMaid only, but they reserve a section for little girls in the front area on the left hand side. If anybody else knows more about that, if you can chime in the comments, that'd be cool. All right, thanks. All right, next part is, let's see. Oh, another thing I noticed about BandMaid playing, in Osaka or just in general in Japan, I felt because they were playing in their home country, they looked more comfortable, right? And they when they talk, obviously they're talking in Japanese, so it was very fluid in their conversations and stuff. Where maybe in America, when they come here, they come to America, they have to rehearse and find the words that they want to use, even though most of it's running through in Japanese in their head. They have to come up with the words, and they have to probably hire like a tutor or something, English tutor, to tell them exactly what would be the best words to say during these Okyujis in America. But in Japan, it's very fluid. They just off the cuff, they just talking, and it was a lot of funny moments that I wish I could recall everything, but I don't. But they were many fun moments, right? Another thing that I remember is that they use their own amps. In America, they use the pedal, the orange pedal baby or something like that, where it's a solid state 100 watt amp head, so to speak, like an amp power supply. And they would plug their pedals or effects model or whatever they're using on their pedal board goes directly into that power amp and into the speakers in the United States, which sounded pretty good. But they actually use their own amps. One of them was the Bogner Ecstasy Pandora, I think. The other one was the EVH 5150. Now, as far as sound is concerned at this show, I would say this is probably one of the best mixed sounds. It's like high fidelity sound. Since I was a little bit towards the right of the venue, but like in the mixer board, how there's like a mixer board in the back, I was on the right hand side in the front, and so I heard Psyche's voice come more from the right side, more so than the left side. So there's a little bit of a imbalance from where I was, but overall the sound was just awesome, right? It wasn't too loud. It wasn't too soft. I had no ear fatigue after the show. Perfectly balanced, and I love that part where we heard Misa, we heard the drums with Hamakane, Miku's guitar, Konami's guitars. Everything came in so well, and on top of that, Saiki's voice was right in front, so it was just a really well balanced hi-fi kind of live experience, similar to an experience I had in Budokan in 1989. I saw Loudness, and the sound was just awesome. And I think it has something to do also with the way the venue is shaped. Budokan is kind of similar to Namba Hatch and vice versa. Namba Hatch is obviously smaller, and if I can find the pictures, I will put it in the background of this video somewhere. If I could get time to edit this, I will. So that's kind of like what I recall from the notes, of all the notes that I have from the Namba Hatch show at the moment. If I have more, I will make another video and give you like a kind of like a post update, right? So the other part I just want to say would be the professionalism of BandMaid. They're just getting better and better at what they do. I mean, they were just born to do this. And I came out of that show feeling like, wow, what did I just hear? I heard 3 new songs. I'm trying to digest everything. I obviously can't recall how the songs went, right? Not off the bat, but it's just so much to take in. And then I remember from the Anaheim show, the BandMaid Okyuji experience has to include the fans, right? So in the beginning of the show, I saw the fans, and I think you saw some of the pictures on my community post. There wasn't like a lot of camaraderie among the Japanese fans, because I guess I'm considered a gaijin, like, even though I'm Japanese natively, but like I guess I'm a Japanese gaijin, right? And I met a bunch of BandMaid fans that from overseas, basically, because we can speak English, right? So shout out to Jonathan Lane, Taka, and a few other guys. I met this guy from the Netherlands. His name is Jaap, tall guy. He's in Japan at the moment. He just got here like a couple of weeks ago or something. And there's this big guy from the UK. I think his name is Jim or James. So we got to meet. Some of us met after the show, and some of us met before the show. And after the show, we were supposed to go eat with Peter and everybody, but I wasn't able to because a friend of mine who was coming with me had like an injury with the leg, and I had to go back to the hotel. So that was what happened. If I can get all the pictures together, I'll put it in the back behind the scenes while I'm talking like this. I do have one kind of it's a similar editor. I have it in the laptop, so I'll try and put that together so it's just not me talking like this on the camera, right? So yeah, that's what I have for the at the moment. Oh yeah, there was a guy, there was a guy behind me, his young Japanese guy, first Okyuji. And what I should have done is I should have let him come in front of me because I was taller, and I hope he was able to see pretty good. It's kind of like on an incline, so he was a little bit behind me. But I wanted to reach out to him and see if I can give him something from like one of those BandMaid stickers and pins that I have. I wanted to see if I can give it to him. I do have his username. I think it was like TYAge86. Like, I don't know if he understands English. He probably doesn't. So maybe I'll do another video asking for him to contact me somehow. So that's about it for now. I don't want to get too long. It's already like 18 minutes in, or maybe even longer. So I'll keep it here. And thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for subscribing. I'm almost at 1,000. I have like 100 and somewhat more subscribers to go. So I'm looking forward to getting to that level and providing you better content I did order some BandMaid stuff, which I'll keep you posted. And any comments or questions, you can leave them down below, and I'll try and reach back to you guys. All right. Thanks for watching, and I will probably do another video when I get back. All right. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks a lot, guys.